A maelstrom is a very powerful whirlpool. A large, swirling body of water. A free vortex, it has considerable downdraft. The power of tidal whirlpools tends to be exaggerated by laymen. There are few stories of large ships ever being sucked into a maelstrom, although smaller craft are in danger. Despite this, tsunami or sinkhole-generated maelstroms may even threaten larger craft. Tales like those by Paul the Deacon, Edgar Allan Poe, and Jules Verne are entirely fictional. One of the earliest uses in English of the Scandinavian word was by Edgar Allan Poe in his story A Descent into the Maelström paragraph M. In turn, the Nordic word is derived from the Dutch maelstrom, modern spelling malström, from malström, to form the meaning grinding current or literally mill stream, in the sense of milling grain. Notable maelstroms, malström. The original maelstrom is the malström, a powerful tidal current in the Lofoten Islands off the Norwegian coast. The maelstrom is formed by the conjunction of the strong currents that cross the straits between the islands and the great amplitude of the tides. In Norwegian, the most frequently used name is Maelstromen or Muskenströmen. The fictional depictions of the maelstrom by Edgar Allan Poe and Jules Verne describe it as a gigantic circular vortex that reaches the bottom of the ocean, when in fact it is a set of currents and cross-currents with a rate of 18 km per hour. Saltstraumann, the Maelstrom of Saltstraumann is the world's strongest maelstrom and is located 10 km southeast of the city of Bodø, Norway. Its impressive strength is caused by the world's strongest tide occurring in the same location. A narrow channel connects the outer salted with its extension, the large Skjestad, causing a colossal tide which in turn produces the Saltstraumann maelstrom. Korrivrekken, the Korrivrekken is the third largest whirlpool in the world, and is on the northern side of the Gulf of Korrivrekken, between the islands of Jura and Skaba off the coast of mainland Scotland. Flood tides and inflow from the Firth of Lorne to the west can drive the waters of Korrivrekken to waves of over 9 meters, and the roar of the resulting maelstrom can be heard 16 kilometers away. A documentary team from Scottish independent producers Northlight Productions once threw a mannequin into the Korrivrekken with a life jacket and depth gauge. The mannequin was swallowed and spat up far down current with a depth gauge reading of 262 meters with evidence of being dragged along the bottom for a great distance. Other notable maelstroms and whirlpools. Also Whirlpool is located between Deer Island, New Brunswick, Canada, and Moose Island, Eastport, Maine, USA. Naruto Whirlpool is located in the Naruto Strait near Aji Island in Japan. Skookumchuck Narrows is a tidal rapids that develops whirlpools, on the Sunshine Coast, Canada. French Pass is a narrow and treacherous stretch of water that separates d'Urville Island from the north end of the South Island of New Zealand. Tsunami and sinkhole-generated maelstroms and whirlpools. Tsunamis generated by large earthquakes have historically formed ephemeral whirlpools at points along the area of wave impact, dependent upon submarine topography. Most notably, the tsunami from the 2011 Tohoku earthquake created a maelstrom off Ōrai, Ibaraki Prefecture, which was videotaped during news coverage and has become a viral video. Lake Pugner is located in the U.S. state of Louisiana 1.2 miles north of Del Cambre and 9.1 miles west of New Iberia, near the northernmost tip of Vermilion Bay. On November 20, 1980 a drilling disaster took place and the lake temporarily drained into a large sinkhole. The resultant whirlpool sucked in the drilling platform, 11 barges, many trees and 65 acres of the surrounding terrain. In literature and popular culture, 3 of the most notable literary references to the Lofoten Maelstrom date from the 19th century. The first is the Edgar Allan Poe story A Descent into the Maelström paragraph M. The second is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the famous novel by Jules Verne. At the end of this novel, Captain Nemo seems to commit suicide, sending his Nautilus submarine into the Maelstrom. The Norway Maelstrom is also mentioned in Herman Melville's Moby Dick. In English, Spanish, and other languages, maelstrom is used as a synonym for whirlpool. Hence, the word maelstrom appears in diverse contexts metaphorically to make reference to different subjects or objects that suggest great chaotic or sinister forces. The word maelstrom is used to denote powerful, inescapable destructive forces. Greek poet Homer describes a maelstrom in his Odyssey as Odysseus mischused to sail near the six-headed monster Scylla, or near the whirlpool Charybdis in order to reach Ithaca. The main characters, Edward and Elizabeth, in Giacomo Casanova's 1788 novel ʻmeɪlstrəm, are sucked into a maelstrom which acts as a portal to the protocosmos. In Warhammer 40,000, the maelstrom refers to an unstable region of the Milky Way galaxy, known as a warp storm, where real space and the warp bleed into one another. In the Disney film Pirates of the Caribbean, at World's End, the freed sea goddess Calypso causes a gigantic maelstrom that the Flying Dutchman and the Black Pearl have to navigate in order to position themselves to fire on each other. In Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, main antagonist Khan Nowanian Singh ad-libs Moby Dick in his justification of his pursuit of James T. Kirk. He tasks me, and I shall have him. I'll chase him round the moons of Nibia and round the Antares Maelstrom and round perdition's flames before I give him up. See also, Riptide, references.